everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here at Hollywood Forever Cemetery and we're going to visit Paul Reubens' grave, better known as Pee Wee Herman. That's right. Alright, there's really not much to say. Let's just get over to his grave, talk a little bit about him. We're probably going to go and visit a couple locations or a location or two from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. We found the grave of Paul Reubens. Pee Wee Herman. Sorry, I'm trying not to it's kind of hard to not cast a shadow on him, but there you go.
People have put every little things from his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaur in what, Palm Springs?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Cabazon dinosaurs.
Yeah, because he goes there. So
yeah. Wow.
I put a Pee Wee card.
Yep. So he must be Jewish, because his grave was marked after a year, and we know that from Suzanne Summers' grave, that after a year, if you're Jewish, then it's okay to mark the grave.
Yes, or when her husband.
Oh yeah, or when your spouse passes. Yeah. But we know Pee Wee wasn't married, so.
Married and no kids.
I refer to him as Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what he's known for. I think that's what he is best known for. You know, hence the just the plain and simple bow tie.
Still unbelievable. It's been a year.
Yeah, I know.
Feels like just what, last month.
Yep. And nobody knew that he was sick until his passing, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, born August 27th, 1952. You know, by today's standards, Mrs. 909, he wasn't that old when he passed.
No.
That's still considered relatively younger, wouldn't you say?
Yep. But cancer's an evil thing.
Yeah.
And doesn't care how old you are or
who you are. Exactly. But
and it's pretty sad he had two at the same time.
Yeah, two different types of cancers, leukemia and lung cancer, correct?
Yes, yes.
And really, well, I mean, according to the death certificate, I think it was the lung cancer that unfortunately took him out.
I don't know.
Right, but I think lung cancer is what is listed on his death certificate.
It's crazy though that he didn't said anything. Like nobody ever knew.
Yeah.
He just went on with
You couldn't
life.
tell by looking at him. He just looked like he was aging, you know. But some of his other notable movies, Blow.
Oh, I love Blow.
Yeah, he was in
With Johnny Depp.
Right, he was in had a short scene in a Cheech and Chong movie.
A couple of Cheech and Chongs.
Yeah, I believe it was Cheech and Chong's next movie. He was working at a hotel. I forget if he was a bellboy or
I want to say he was the bellboy.
Right, he was working at a hotel in one of their movies. I believe it was Cheech and Chong's next movie.
And he was in Star Wars.
He was in Star Wars?
Yes. He was
I don't think so. Oh, yes. Star Tours at Disneyland.
Okay,
yes.
Star Tours.
He was the voice of Rex.
Yes.
In the original adaptation of Star Tours.
But I think everybody knows him best in
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Right, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. That's for you. For me, you know, because there's a slight age gap between you and I remember him more for Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah. I remember waking up early in the morning. Early, I mean, before the sun was even up. I believe it would come on at like 5 or 5:30.
In the morning?
In the morning, yes.
And there was no DVRs back then.
No DVRs, so if you wanted to catch it, you had to catch it early. So that's what I more remember is Pee Wee's Playhouse. And funny enough, Pee Wee Herman, he wasn't always kid-friendly.
No.
We actually didn't know that until we started researching, digging in a little bit more for this video.
But there's a lot of actors and actresses. The more you dig, the more dirt you find.
By the way, not to change the subject, right over Mrs. 909's shoulder, is Burt Reynolds. So if you guys come out here, it's very easy to spot from far away.
And he's right next to the tree.
Right next to the closest tree.
In the pond.
Palm tree. In front of the pond, lake, whichever you want to call it. Alright, so he was in some other movies. He voiced a character in a very famous cartoon. Am I correct, Mrs. 909?
Yep. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and he was who?
Beryl.
That's right, Beryl. Lock,
Shock,
Shock, and Barrel. He was Beryl.
And he was also in Batman's Returns.
Batman Returns. He was Penguin's father, right?
Yep.
Okay. Imagine somebody as young as Pee Wee Herman playing a father to somebody like, you know, the Penguin, who was Danny DeVito. I'm sure Danny DeVito is
funny.
older than him.
And Pee Wee's probably taller than him.
Yeah. That's you know.
And he was also in one of Jeff's favorite movies.
One of my favorite movies?
The Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Another small little scene. You know, he had quite the list of movies he was in, although not starring roles.
But I think if you ask anybody, they'll remember him as Pee Wee.
He will always be remembered as Pee Wee
And
Herman.
his bow tie.
And he knew that, and that's why it's on his headstone.
He's got from every generation, every age.
Yeah.
From when he began till now. My daughter watches Pee Wee Her Big Adventure because I showed her, and she loves the house scene when he's making his breakfast.
You know,
it's just very colorful.
Speaking of Pee Wee's Big Adventure, why don't we stop the video right here and go check out the Pee Wee's Big Adventure house?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, we're right here in front of Pee Wee Herman's house. I mean, you know, the house from Pee Wee's Big Adventure, just right there. I mean, this is really cool to actually see in person. It's the first time. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It sounds like there's a woodpecker in the background.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not a sound effect. That is an actual. I'm pretty sure it's a woodpecker.
I don't know. We're making a weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool though, whatever it is. But let's have a closer look.
Same.
Yeah, the garage is still the same. And in the movie, the house was red, right?
Red with a bunch of things, a big rocket ship, and everything in it.
This is so cool. And look, it still has a red door. Kind of maybe an homage to the movie or something. But in the scene out in front of the house, you clearly see Pee Wee Herman walking down here. And this right here, and Francis, this is where the infamous "I know you are, but what am I" scene took place.
Right here at this corner.
Right.
Because it's Francis's birthday.
And his dad said he could have anything he wants.
And then Pee Wee says, what, a new brain? And he says, no, your bike.
Right. And of course,
he says he
would have for $1 million billion trillion dollars.
And then he falls to the ground laughing.
Yep. But again, this is so cool. Very, very, very cool.
I wonder if they've used the inside like they used.
I don't know. I haven't really dived too deep in on the movie. Maybe somebody could comment in the comments. You know, did they actually film inside of the house, or they just use the exteriors?
Which is common in a lot of movies.
Yeah, it is very common in a lot of movies. If so, a lot of things took place in this house. A lot of things in a short period of time.
What, from the movie you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his whole.
Because that was a busy scene.
The whole breakfast scene.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
That's what I mean. A lot of things in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So cool.
Yes, it is.
Pee Wee's house is pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
I did put a sticker down here. It is not, you know, obviously open. It is not sticky. The back is still there. So just, you know, a little something to leave here. As everybody else is leaving little things. That's just what we had. And Mrs. 909 wants to put a little something extra down.
Well, you see everybody put a bow tie. There's a few ties, and then the dinosaur. This might be for space tours.
Star tours?
Or star tours that he did.
Is that a button?
No,
is it a button?
I think it's like I would say like, oh no,
just
I don't know.
A little coin or something?
I was going to say a pog. If you knew what a pog is.
It's probably just something to let people know.
And then, of course, flowers. And then there's
Here.
change.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys remember in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he asks Francis and Francis's dad if they want a piece of gum.
Right.
So I'm going to leave a stick of gum on his, because it's something only people who actually watched it would know.
Right.
The
maybe kind of
resemblance
rest it
or-
up to the side or something.
What do you mean?
Like,
I was just gonna put
yeah,
the
that'll
gum
work
sword.
too. Very cool.
And then the gum turns Francis's mouth black, and then his dad freaks out about it
Right.
because
Right.
it's trick gum he got from that magic store he goes to.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that was a funny scene. But Paul Reubens, everybody. Pee Wee Herman. So Mrs. 909. One of Paul Reubens' Pee Wee's friends is also interred here, right?
He was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He was in Pee-wee's Playhouse. He was in all of Pee Wee Herman's shows as one of the characters. And everybody thought he was gonna get put right next to him because where
well,
he is.
To be, honest, we kind of thought the same thing because it only makes sense.
Because where he is next to him is empty, and they got everybody.
Right. Well, nothing ever came out. Well, of course, we're talking about the great John Paragon. Nothing was ever set in stone that he was going to be buried here. It was just
But see, this one's empty.
yeah, it was just, a rumor floating around amongst the fans. Jambi. So he was also in Elvira. What, Mistress of the Dark?
Mistress of the Dark.
Very cool.
In Elvira's Haunted Hills.
Ooh, that actually, I've never seen Elvira's Haunted Hills.
And Elvira's movie Macrobee?
Macrobee? Okay.
And of course, everything Pee Wee Herman. Another Elvira show. So he liked certain people and he
Right.
was able to be in everything they pretty much did.
That is so cool.
Oh, he was in Cheech and Chong, the movie too. Or the next movie,
The next movie?
Yes.
Right.
He was in Seinfeld.
So,
Spaceballs.
very cool, very cool.
That's one of your favorites. Scooby-Doo, the cartoon.
Who did you voice? Or was it just himself?
It's a Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, very nice. John Paragon. Very colorful, very vibrant.
and everybody thought Pee Wee was gonna go right here.
Yeah, everybody thought either here or here. But again, it was
They
just
fooled us.
a rumor.
But still, they fooled us. They
Right.
got us.
Yeah. Just a rumor created by the fans. Nobody from the estate. If my memory serves me right, Elvira is the owner or in charge of his estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So nobody on her behalf or anybody. It was just all created by the fans. And I think it would have been very fitting for him to be here along with, obviously other fans. But, I think where he's at is perfect.
And he died of heart disease
No, John
Yes.
Paragon.
in 2021.
All right, guys. So if you guys want to come and pay your respects to John Paragon, Jambi from Pee Wee's Playhouse, Big Adventure, you're going to want to find the Sanctuary of Faith. I'm going to show you guys how to get there. Come all the way down here. You'll see Sanctuary of Faith, which is a little unrecognizable if you didn't know what it would say. And then he will be down this corridor and off to the left. And he's right there. Right there. Pretty easy to find, especially if you've been here before. Alright guys, that's going to do it from Paul Reubens' final resting place, his grave. It's just right there. Man, it's hard to believe that he's gone. He was still relatively young. But again, you know, disease is not prejudice. It will go after anybody, unfortunately.
Anybody, any
It doesn't care status, fame, money. It's gonna get whoever it wants, unfortunately. And hopefully one of these days there'll be a cure. And but again, Pee-wee, Paul Reubens, thanks for the memories. You will always, yes, the laughs, and your laugh. Your laugh will never be duplicated, replicated, or forgotten. Exactly.
Or your dance.
Yeah. So, again, Pee-wee, thanks for the laughs, the memories, the childhood. And I'm sure you're resting in peace.